Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. In the last episode, we ended up right here in the Deepcroft. We need to do a dungeon, so I'm going to sign up for that, and we'll get right at it. Alright, so we're done. Let's give the player commendation. I'm going to give it to the only one left, the Lancer. And then let's see about the loot. Greed, greed, and greed. It's common etiquette to just greed on everything, and then everybody gets a chance to get whatever it is. Okay, finished with that one. Let's go turn it in. Welcome back, Roland. I'm reliably informed that your foray into the Deepcroft was a success. Nor did I expect anything less. Baderen's ringing endorsement left me in little doubt as to your capabilities. Even so, you're to be commended. Bolord Lewin asked me to pass on his thanks. I must say it's something of a relief to be able to call upon such a capable adventurer. Sadly, death has become an ever more common occurrence within our fraternity of late. Times being what they are, the guild is constantly inundated with petitions, and we're hard-pressed to find enough hands to deal with all of them. While this means no shortage of work for able souls such as yourself, it also provides ample opportunity for the inexperienced to overreach themselves with predictable consequences. As if to illustrate the point, Avir's gone, and it's all your fault. If it hadn't taken you an age to heal him, he would still be alive. Now, these are the three. The fourth one evidently died. These are the group that was at the Sestasha when we entered it, the first dungeon that we got. Evidently, they overreached and their tank got killed, and they're blaming the healer for not healing. Sniff, but I tried. He bolted out of range before I could finish the spell. He shouldn't have been so hard pressed in the first place. We should have done more to lighten his burden. Bah, to the hells with this pathetic excuse for a party. I'm leaving, and it'd be too soon if I never see your faces again. Goodbye and good riddance. I'm leaving as well. I doubt this comes of any surprise, but I never liked you. I only suffered you for your healing, but you couldn't even do that one thing right. Cruel though this may sound, you brought this upon yourself. Oh, and by the way, I have some parting advice. Get rid of Avir's head. Bury it. Cremate it. Do whatever the hells you like with it. But for God's sake, stop carrying it around. It's just get rid of it, alright? Wait, don't leave me all alone, please. Okay, so she's carrying the guy's head with her. They were engaged to be married. So, I'm sorry, Avir. Please forgive me. Scenes like this have become all too common. That makes a dozen times in half as many days. Now you see why I'm grateful for adventures of your experience. I can send men like you on a mission without worrying that you might not return. Well, not so much at any rate. Speaking of missions, I would entrust you with another. About a bell ago, I received a message from my counterpart in Ulda. She seeks the services of a reliable adventurer. You're nothing if not reliable. If you think you might be interested in this task, say the word, and I'll be glad to share the details with you. Now, that group of adventurers that we saw that lost their tank, we haven't seen the last of them. Call of the Desert. So you're not adverse of taking a little trip? Wonderful. As I mentioned earlier, the request comes to us from the Adventurers Guild in Ulda. Once you arrive, seek out Momodi, the proprietress of the Quicksand. Think of her as the Sultanate's version of myself. Chances are she'll send you into the midst of danger, but I have every confidence that you will pull through unscathed. Now, off you go, Roland, and good luck. All right, so we have another quest, and yeah, now you know why I set that up the way I did. I've got a free teleport to Ulda, and from Ulda I can quickly get to Limsa via that boat, and then if I need to get to Gridania, I just use my return. Okay, so we need to go to the quicksand, the Adventurers Guild. When I get a little bit more advanced in levels here, I will join a free company. It's one that I'm currently in with some of my other characters. It's going to give us some bonuses. Mamodi. God, that's noisy. Welcome to the quicksand, friend. I'm a tad busy right now. If you wouldn't mind showing yourself to... Oh, judging by your determined expression, I take it that you ain't here for ale. Are you called Roland Painter by any chance? Now that music you're hearing is another player, so I can't turn it off. Mione sent word that you'd be reporting for duty. She also made a point of calling you the adventure of the moment. That ain't no small praise coming from her. But you didn't come all this way here to listen to me prattle. Doubtless you're eager to get started, so let's talk business, shall we? Hey, we got a level up. Copperbell. The petitioner ought to be arriving any moment now. God's almighty, another second under that sun, and I had to been set afire. A tankard of ale, if you would be so kind. Excellent timing, Papashan. It just so happens the adventurer who will be handling your petition is here. So this strapping young lad is the much-lauded adventurer, is he? Marvelous, marvelous. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, good sir. I'm Papashan, formerly of the Sultan's Sworn. I thank you for agreeing to lend us your aid. Mayhaps you'd like to appraise Roland of his mission. Yes, of course. The petition in question was submitted by an acquaintance of mine at the miner concern. It relates to an unfortunate development at Copperbell mines. To be plain, giants have seized control of the place. These giants are of the clan known as the, oh my God, that's a name, fearsome creatures who were sealed within the deepest depths of the mines during the bygone Thorn dynasty. Alas, it seems that they have managed to break through the layer of rock which served to imprison them, and now prowl the tunnels where the miners ply their trade. The creatures are justifiably angry about their treatment at the hands of our ancestors, and their presence has forced the suspension of all mining activities on the site. It's no wonder they're angry. Didn't the Thorn dynasty come to an end over 300 years ago? You know your history well, milady. The people of that age used the giants to work their mines. By way of enchanted helms, they were able to bind the ferocious creatures to their will. But, as is often the way in such tales, these enchantments eventually failed, and the slaves rose up against their masters. In a desperate bid to contain the unbridled fury of the giants, our ancestors induced the collapse of the mine's lowermost levels, so it was that the great giant revolt was ended, buried beneath 100,000 tons of rock. Well now, that's got me thinking. I seem to recall there being an article about Copperbell in the Mithril Eye a fortnight or so ago. It said the mines were being reopened so as to meet rising demand for building materials. Like as not, our boys dug a bit too deep and freed the giants. Gods, to think the poor creatures are still alive and kicking after 3 centuries. It's a long time to nurse a grudge. They must be seething. Indeed, and that makes them a danger to us all. There will be no mining at Copperbell so long as they remain. For the sake of both peace and prosperity, they must be subdued. This is the task which we would have you undertake. I'll not deny that the mission will be rife with danger, but our need is great, and so I beg you, put an end to this sorry business. God bless you. I feared you might have reservations, but I assure you it is for the best. In case you don't know, Copperbell mines are in the western Thanaland. Do take care, you hear? And one last thing before you depart. An employee of the mines is presently at the quicksand. The fellow's name is Painted Mesa, and he knows Copperbell mines well. It may behoove you to seek his course. It may behoove you to seek his counsel. All right, we're going to talk to this miner right here. Looking for Painted Mesa? Well, you found him. So you're the adventurer who's volunteered to deal with the mess down in Copperbell, are you? You got guts, mate. I just hope you've got skills to go with them, 'cause things ain't pretty down there. The giants left the place in a right state and nary a week after mining resumed. I don't know if you know this, but Copperbell was old when the second old dynasty was still young, and it was abandoned centuries ago. If it hadn't been for the shortage of material needed for the rebuilding effort, the concern would never have thought to reopen it. We knew full well about the giants beforehand, but the project went ahead anyway. I mean, nothing could possibly survive being buried under mountains worth of rock for 3 centuries, right? Wrong. Our miners dug up more than they bargained for. One swing of the pickaxe too many, and they found themselves in the company of giants. Unless we can subdue them, the nation's glorious recovery grind to a halt for what ought to build. Unless we can subdue them, the nation's glorious recovery'll grind to a halt for want of aught to build with. The stone torches keep watching over the entrance in case the giants fancy some sunlight and fresh air. One of them will be able to show you the way, in the hope that the nation's resting on you, friend. Best of luck. All right, let's head out to the mines. And I went the wrong way. Too many doors. Let's see, Copperbell. This is not the right gate. Let's go to... We need to go out the... which gate was it? The Sultana gate. Look at that fat Cocabo. I got one of those. He ate too many Geishel greens. Geishel greens are like a cabbage or a lettuce that those things eat. Which reminds me, I'm going to have to buy some pretty quick. We got a few more quests to do, but after we get these 3 dungeons done, doing one for each city, the grand companies of those 3 cities will try to recruit us. When we decide to join one, they're going to give us a Cocabo to ride. We get a company Cocabo. I call them Cocabo. A lot of people call them Chocobos. There's an H in there. I'm probably wrong, but it's just force of habit. stone torch. There's been an incident inside Copperbell mines. We're here to ensure that its effects are contained. But for your own safety, I suggest you stay well away from here. What? Oh, you're the adventurer who's volunteered to quell the giants. I didn't think that Papa Sean would be able to find someone so quickly, if at all. The giants are content to wreak havoc inside the mines for now, but it's only a matter of time before they think to come outside. The sooner you see to them, the better. Make ready as best you can and enter at will. All right, let's sign up for that. I need to turn the old one off, turn the new one on, and I'll see you when we're done with the mine. So we have a runner. Runners are trying to get through as fast as they can instead of taking on one mob at a time. Okay, that's it for Copperbell Mines. It went pretty smooth. I didn't get any help at the end, but there's a there's a tactic. It ended well. Nobody got killed. All right, back to Ulda. Adventures Club. Guild Club. Same. Whoa, whoa, where are you going? My controller got away from me for some reason. God, is that guy still playing? Ah, the conqueror of Copperbell mines returns. Thanks to you, our mining operation can resume, and Ulda will have the materials she needs to rebuild. The entire nation's in your debt, friend. I'll share the good tidings with Papa Sean the next time I see him. As for you, you'll want to report to Momodi. It'll do the woman well to see you alive and in one piece. Uh-oh. Trouble. Shut your mouth, you thieving little swine. You stole from me. Don't even think to deny it. Please, sir, I didn't steal nothing. I bought this. Paid for it with my own coin. What rot. You refugees are all the same. Couldn't afford maggoty mole meat, much less a choice cut of dodo. I'm going to say it one more time. Give back what you stole, or I'll make you wish you never set foot in this town. By rights, I should turn you over to the brass blades, you know. Help keep the streets safe for law-abiding citizens. But I'm a reasonable man. If you agree to serve me, in whatever capacity I'd require, the authorities needn't hear of your crime. You pervert. But I ain't done nothing wrong. 12 as my witness. Please, adventurer, help me. I beg of you. I swear on my mother's grave, I didn't steal nothing. I bought this with my coin I've saved. I only wanted to treat my children to a decent meal. And who the hells are you when you're at home? This dog's master? I'm a cat, not a dog. I've had enough of this mummer's farce. You lot teach them a lesson. Yeah, you lot teach them a lesson. He's gonna do nothing because he's a coward. Go get him, Carbuncle. Filthy bodyguard. I just noticed that. Filthy bodyguard. spellcaster first. I ain't getting paid enough for this. Hey, where the hell do you think you're going? Thank you, kind adventure. Thank you thrice over. Okay, so our character has a power that he gets from the crystal. It's called the Echo. And it allows me to see things that have happened in the past. And actually see what people are feeling or thinking or saying, even if I don't speak the language they speak. I swear there were more refugees than the last time I looked. Yeah, and you wouldn't be mistaken. But it's been 5 years since the calamity. Why are they still coming here? Well, it's simple, really. While a number of hamlets survived the immediate aftermath of the calamity, many were no longer able to support their communities. The residents found their lands had either been rendered barren or cut off from trade routes, and problems like these aren't easily solved. Though they tried to make the best of it, it was only a matter of time before they were forced to abandon their homes and seek a new life in the city. I see. But the calamity affected the whole realm, didn't it? Is this the same? Is the same thing happening in other cities? If the talk is true, yes. Though perhaps our situation is more pronounced. Ulda has a reputation for being a prosperous, so it's natural that the refugees would try their luck here first. My heart goes out to them, it truly does, but I would be lying if I said that I wasn't apprehensive. I hope their presence doesn't foment lawlessness in the city. Well, if things do take a turn for the worse, we always have the immortal flames. I dare say the brass blades would welcome their help. The heroes who fought the Garlean War? Patrolling the streets of Riffraff? It may well come to that. Impoverished and desperate as they are, you may be sure that some of the refugees will take to crime. You know what this place is like. If you've no coin, you've no hope. What will become of our city? Not all refugees are bad, mind you. Some are able to find employment and lead honest lives. Dodo tenderloins. Get your dodo tenderloins. Guaranteed cheapest in Thanland. So, see, she did pay for the dodo meat. Thank you for your custom, madam. Please come again. Looking around, you'd think that Ulda was well on its way to recovery. But peer through the veil of prosperity and you'll see no end to the misery and suffering. Sir, are you all right? What now? You mean to threaten a defenseless citizen? What? You saw her buy that meat, you say? Well, that's absurd. Aye. As did I. Leave the poor woman alone, you damnable vulture. Who said that? I will take I will overlook this, but just this once. God bless you, adventurer. If you hadn't come along when you did, who knows what that monster might have done. I don't bear thinking about. Ever the selfless hero, I see. It has been a while, adventurer. I've been watching you closely ever since you flew out of Limsa Laminsa. You discharged your duty as the Admiral's personal envoy with admirable humility, and you have displayed unfaltering courage in the face of danger ever since. Whensoever you came upon those in need, you gave them succor with no thought of personal gain. In summary, you have demonstrated all the qualities we seek in an adventurer. For reasons I cannot well explain, your every deed seems invariably to serve the general good, whether you mean it to or not. It is a happy knack, and one which speaks volumes for your character. Yet for all your admirable qualities, it is your gift which intrigues me the most. I speak of the visions you experience, visions like the one you had mere moments ago. If I'm not mistaken, I can provide you with the means to understand them. An acquaintance of mine is blessed with the self-same talent, you see. If you so desire, I can introduce you to her. She and I fight for a common cause, a cause which would greatly benefit for your support. If you would agree to lend us your strength, we should be glad to do all within our power to aid you in your personal endeavors. Think on my offer a while. Should you decide to accept it, pray speak with Momodi, the proprietress of the Quicksand, is a close friend and ally of ours. Inform her that you have been chosen by the scions of the seventh dawn, and she will tell you where to find us. All right, well, 2 dungeons and a fight is probably enough for one episode. I think I'm going to end it here. When we come back, we'll go talk to Momodi and see if we can track this scions down. Hope you had fun. Hope you join me then. Ta-ta for now.